Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. We have the Multimedia iKlip Grip Pro. Now this is a selfie stick. It's a tripod with multiple levels of adjustment. As you can see in the picture, they show that the shaft can extend quite far. So you can just untwist to unlock and voila, we're fully extended. And so high that we probably are going to have to readjust our camera maybe. Just a little bit. Anyway, so that's the top height. So you just kind of like twist, lock, and you can go into like every position imaginable all the way down to back to the bottom. Okay, it's not a big deal, right? I got this at Value Village for $9.99 today. Value Village is a place where you can buy, items that people have donated, etc. Sometimes you get a good deal. Sometimes you're definitely getting ripped off blind. You're better off going to buy brand new at like Giant Tiger or Walmart, especially for clothing. They can sometimes have a good deal if you find something, but otherwise the majority of their prices are right out of this planet. And it's like, whoa, yeah, I'm not buying somebody's beat up pants or shirts for more than retail, you know what I mean? But sometimes they have good deals there. This was one of them. This little puppy at Long and McQuaid in Canada, still currently being sold there, will cost you $70 or $69.99 if you want to get that critical, okay, on a penny that doesn't exist anymore. Except in cyberspace it does. Anyway, there's many other places you can buy this thing. Amazon, for example, you can buy it there. Many other places on the internet, I've done some searching. This works with Android and iOS, so Apple devices or Android. However, there's some limitations here. With Android, they tell you in the manual, of course, especially if you download the full manual, you get all the info. It is compatible with Android 4.22 minimum or newer, they say, and iOS 6.0 or newer. That is only a half-truth. Now, the compatibility list for phones that they've basically listed out is the iPhone 6 Plus 6, the 5S, the 5C, the 5, the 4S, the 4, the iPad 432, and then they say all iPad, iPod Touch 4th Gen or newer. Samsung Galaxy for the Android people, the S2, S3, S4, the Note 1, Note 2, Note 3 Plus, Tab 2, Note 8, 10 Plus, 10.1 Plus, Moto X Nexus 457 Plus, the Xiaomi 1S, 2S, 3 Plus. If you have a Sony Xperia S, forget it, not compatible. HTC New One and X Plus, I think they call it, not compatible. Other Android phones, probably not compatible. Unknown, actually. And the compatibility issue here is not with the tripod, because that has nothing to do with it. It's this little shutter button dealie. So the little tiny button, that's for Android. The big button is for us Mac people, right? Or Apple people. And all it is you turn the sucker on, the little blue light will light up, and it should actually start blinking in theory, because there is no actual bind button other than turning the power switch on, okay? However, I have found some issues here that cheesed me right off. In order for me to get this thing to connect to my iPhone, because I have a 12 mini, and I'm running iOS 16, I actually have to turn off my Apple Watch for it to connect up. Now here, of course, it's trying to search out devices, so it actually has sat there too long doing nothing, so we turn it off, we turn it back on again. Blue light lights. Yeah, sure, let's pair it. Not connected. You dumb piece of junk. Okay, so let's tell it to forget the device, forget the device. Now, it can interfere with some other Bluetooth devices apparently. Well, okay, so let's turn off my Apple Watch because it's the only thing connected to my phone anyways. My car only connects when my car is running. So we'll wait for that to come up to say that my watch is not connected, which is right now. And we'll turn this thing on again. And one blink. Sure, let's pair it. By all means, not connected. If you try to manually connect, it'll just barf out on you. So forget device, off and then on again real quick. No, I want to cancel that request. off, on again. Eventually, yep, see, now it's going to go into a binding mode. There we go, shutter. This thing is finicky. And it's trying. Unsuccessful. You pain in the butt. Turn it off. Turn it on. Pair. Shutter. Not connected. Forget device. Forget device. On we go again. Pair and request. Not connected. Same thing. Let's try and do a manual connect anyway. It's just going to barf anyhow. It does that a lot. So it's going to be very finicky. I've gotten this thing to connect like maybe 3 times tops. I even replaced the battery, thinking maybe the battery was getting weak. And I even tested the battery. It still had like 3 volts in it, right? So I thought, all right, brand new battery is fully charged at 3.2. No, it still doesn't want to do it. Not in range kind of thing. It's like right beside it. Like how much more closer can I get? You know what I mean? Forget device. Forget device. Come on, forget. Go away. And back we go again. We'll try this one last time. See if we can get it to go. And this is definitely going to barf out on us, I'm sure. Yes, it does. Not connected. I am done trying to do that for you guys because it's just round and round we go and it's nothing but a pain. Now, when you do get it to connect finally, which it will finally connect eventually, it's just frustrating because there's no actual bind button. It just turns on and boom, and it's a Bluetooth device, right? And that's all there is to it. And that's what it's supposed to be. That's how the instructions are laid out too. And yeah, and it's kind of a crapshoot if it works or not. So now I can turn my watch back on since that was a frivolous attempt at trying to do something here. Now that we know what we know about this thing, do you really want to buy this unit? Well, not at $70. Maybe $35 tops, okay? Like that's really pushing it too. I mean, that really is pushing it. My final star rating is only going to be a whole whopping 3 out of 5 because the only kudo marks I give it is the actual unit itself is fantastic. It's plastic and metal construction. It's heavy duty. It is definitely going to do exactly what I wanted it for because I wanted a better solution for being able to have my iPhone as either a webcam purpose or using it for the purpose of cutting videos by sitting in front of my computer. Again, not connected. So I think we can give up on that. And it's going to work great for that because I can use my phone as a webcam or a camera, period, on my Mac because I've got access to what's called continuity camera. I also have a Mac Mini, so no built-in webcam anyways, and we all know that built-in webcams on computers tend to be not that great a quality of picture overall. Even 1080p on the new Macs that have 1080p, they're a far cry better than they were, but they're still not even half as good as an iPhone would be at the same resolution, which is all we would get anyways, right? But regardless of that, I mean, it is a very usable unit. And it'll fit phones anywhere from 3.5 inches wide to 6 inches wide. Even if your phone has a case, it'll fit it. So that's actually pretty cool. It does have a lot of multi-use that way for different phones. And it's just twist, twist, twist. And you can do that in like, you know, multitudes of positions, right? So you can have a little bit here, you know, something there maybe. That'd be about it. Or whatever kind of combination you want to kind of figure out with the length you're going to want to do overall. You can even have the base sitting down really low like this. The other thing too is let's say your setup has shown that you're over here. Well, when you're putting a lot of weight downward for the angle of your phone, you want the maximum stability possible. So you want to leg out the front and you want this to be able to be even as possible in parallel with that leg so that the front weight can take the front portion, and then this way relieving a lot of weight differential so it doesn't, like, you know, flip over on you. Because if you had it in this position, for example, it could easily flip, right? But when the leg is out front, it's not going to flip too easily. It's going to be actually near impossible for it to flip. So that is kind of cool that you can just twist the main collar unit in itself to suit what you actually require for setting that leg position the way you need it. So anyways, and you can have it, like I said, here to here and give it a little twist. Now you got the middle support and the legs, so hey, that's fantastic too, or do this sort of stunt, whatever you want. But the shutter button, well, it's pathetic, okay? It's not about being a newer OS. Maybe newer to a certain point, but certainly, you know, we're talking newest versions of Bluetooth. Like, we don't even know what version of Bluetooth this flipping thing is anyways. They don't get that far into the details in the manual for this. You know, when it does connect, it does tell you it can interfere with some Wi-Fi and Bluetooth devices. Duh, you think? No, well, it's actually the other way around. The other devices interfere with it being able to even connect. Because the only way I can get it to connect is to actually have my watch off. And even at that, it still takes me several attempts before it's even going to connect to my phone, just so I can go and press a stupid button. It's less hassle to just, you know, touch the screen, hit record, slide back to where I need to be. And yeah, I can cut that little segment out of my video and my ending portion. Like, I do that already anyway, so what's a shutter button helping me out with other than some better timing? But if it's not going to function right, it's kind of a useless little part of the equipment. But for my purpose, I don't care about the shutter button. However, I have to be fair because not everybody's going to do things that I do. So, for those of you who want to go to the multi-levels of selfie stick usage and you want shutter button access, what have you, you might want to try it, and if it works perfectly fine for you, then you're okay. If it doesn't work perfectly fine for you, and you really wanted it for the shutter button feature too, then I would suggest taking it back lickety-split and getting a refund, because it's obviously not going to be compatible with your device properly. And you should be able to have multiple Bluetooth devices active anyways, and the only one I had active was my watch. Okay, because I have an Apple Watch, and it's a Series 6, I believe. So, yeah, $70 this is not worth. Not even close. 30, 35 tops, that's where I would be at. And that's whether the button works or not for your device. I could care less, and you would have to not care either for paying $35 if it was. It shouldn't be a make it or break it, because I think, you know, build quality construction, what it is capable of doing that other selfie type jobbies can't do, that's great. It's a nice tripod setup. It has a lot of functionality. It's plastic, which is actually heavy duty plastic and really good quality metal construction as well. So it does have a lot of those perks of quality parts and construction to it. So for that, it definitely gets my kudos. But we're only going to give it a 3 out of 5 anyways, like max. With a very cautionary measure on, keep in mind, this may or may not work as far as the shutter button goes with whatever device you're trying to attach, being Android or iOS. And by the way, don't try connecting it to your computer. Your computer will find it, but it'll think it's a keyboard, and it's not a keyboard. So it's just a Bluetooth device, and computers don't know any different. They just search out and say, oh, you got a Bluetooth device called Shutter. Would you like to connect? Sure. And it thinks it's a keyboard, and I thought that was freaking hilarious. But, yeah. And without having a dedicated actual binding button to say, okay, let's start flashing, you know, it takes about, oh, I don't know how many tries to get it to even do the flashing routine. It's just stupid. And they don't even tell you that in the manual. Like, you know, they just say turn it on and it's there. You know, go to Bluetooth, go to your Bluetooth settings, turn on the thing. It'll come up in the list. It'll either automatically do it or it'll ask to pair, one of the two. And you just follow along, and that's it. Done. Nothing else for you to do. Yay! No, it doesn't work that way. Absolutely not. We just discovered that, of course. But $10 was an awesome deal. And for what I'm going to use it for, like I said, I don't care about the shutter button. I'm surprised it was actually in the box, because Value Village gets a lot of stuff with missing stuff or broken parts. This thing was actually the entire complete kit and caboodle, all intact and in perfect condition. And I'm like, for 10 bucks, I'll try it out and I'll do a review for you fine folk. Because I love doing reviews for you guys. And you also know that I call it how it is no matter what. So what do I say? I say 3 out of 5. I say, what's it really worth? Well, not 70 bucks new, that's for sure. And we're talking Canadian dollars. So even in US dollars, it ain't worth that amount either. But $30 to $35, I think it's worth because of just the main unit itself. Like I said, I could care less about the shutter button. I'm not that lazy, okay? And besides, most of what I'll be using this stand for, I wouldn't be able to use the shutter button anyways because I want this as for a holder for my phone as a continuity camera on my Mac. And for that, I have to trigger via the software on my Mac for recording, not a shutter button, because I'm recording direct into the Mac, not to the phone. So, big difference there. I don't really care. I just thought, that'll work, you know. Best solution I've found so far. And I can get the proper angles I need too now. Anyways, that's all I got. So you guys take it for what it's worth. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And by the way, if you already have one of these things, please let us know what devices and what version of the Android or iOS you are using with it, and if it's been a pain in the butt for you, or if it's been smooth and flawless. Now, I'm running the latest version of iOS 16 on my Apple iPhone. I don't have any Android devices in the house to test with, and I don't want any because, yeah, I got rid of Android when I moved to the country because Android phones don't work with a darn out here. That's why we switched to Apple for our phones ever since. And yeah, we kind of love the Apple stuff even more anyways because it fits with all of our other Apple products we happen to own, like our computers and watches and iPads and all that. And I love the ecosystem of the Apple computer. Anyways, that's it. That's all. Comments below. Thanks for watching. Sub if you have not, and also smash that bell for notifications. I do have more videos coming, obviously, and as I find more deals too, I will let you know if they're actually good deals or not. But 10 bucks was a really good deal, and to me, for my use, 10 bucks is a fabulous deal. But as far as brand new goes, don't even think about paying the 70 Canadian or whatever that is in US dollars. I wouldn't do it unless you are pretty confident you can get a refund if it doesn't work with your devices, because it's the shutter button that's going to be the issue. The rest of it will be fine. It's just the shutter button is a bloody nightmare, as we've seen. Anyways, thank you and have a great night.